Welcome to the Support Report podcast, hosted by United Community Supports of Maryland. Here, we discuss any and all topics relating to adults with developmental disabilities as we strive to make support resources and other interesting topics more accessible to our community. So on the podcast today, we have Ariel Sims, the CEO and President of RespectAbility. Welcome.
Thanks so much for having me, Rebecca.
Absolutely. So if we could just start off, if you don't mind telling me, what is RespectAbility?
So RespectAbility is a nonprofit, and we do advocacy work on behalf of the disability community. And we are disability-led. Our mission is to fight stigmas and advance opportunities so disabled people can fully participate in all aspects of community.
That's awesome. And then where in the state of Maryland are you located?
So we used to have an office in Rockville, Maryland, but we actually gave up our lease during the first part of the pandemic. And we have been fully remote as an organization ever since. So even though we're incorporated in the District of Columbia, we are a national and fully remote organization, and we've got team members now all across the country.
And can you tell me a little bit about the programs that you all offer?
Sure. So here at RespectAbility, our work is organized around our theory of change, which is all about advancing opportunities, changing attitudes, and developing leaders. So pretty much in all the work that we do, we're trying to do those three things. And for us, we have four kind of core programmatic areas that we work in. One is our entertainment and news media program. And in that particular program, we are trying to make sure that there is more authentic representation of disability in Hollywood. So that means making sure that the content that people see, from television and film to news media programming, that when it's featuring people with disabilities, that it's really authentic, and that disabled people are the ones telling our stories and getting the content out there. And through that work, we also help develop emerging disabled creatives, and we help folks who are writers, producers, directors, multi-hyphenates, et cetera, basically break into the industry of Hollywood and help influence that authentic representation. So that's one of our programs. Another one that we have is our National Leadership Program. And this is now a fully remote program, but it used to be based in our office in Maryland. And through the leadership work and our workforce work, which we've recently combined, we're essentially making sure that folks with disabilities can lead the lives of their choosing. We want to make sure that people can access the careers they want, or the educational opportunities, or the opportunities to be an activist or an advocate, if that doesn't mean that that's part of their career. So essentially just helping people kind of navigate the life and the life that they want for themselves. So that work is all focused on that. We also have a faith, inclusion, and belonging program. And this is probably our longest standing work here at RespectAbility. We were founded back in 2013 by a group of Jewish individuals, some of whom had disabilities, some of whom had a different personal connection to disability. And at the time the organization was founded, it was founded on the idea that Jewish community and Jewish spaces were not fully inclusive of those with disabilities. And the idea was to do something about it and make sure that Jewish communities and spiritual practices were fully accessible and inclusive to the disability community. And since that time, we have a long tradition of working in the Jewish community, but last year we started really expanding our work into multi-faith communities. So we now work with any congregation, place of worship, spiritual group, kind of whatever you call it, that is interested in being more inclusive of those with disabilities. So that's been some really incredible work. And then last but not least, we have our policy and civic engagement work, which is a place where we tend to do a lot of advocacy and try to really push for some systemic change, while also empowering people with disabilities to be the agent of that change. So getting folks to think about things like running for office, how they can advocate for themselves and work with legislatures and places nearby in their own communities to make changes that they would like to have happen. So that work's been really, really great too. Historically, we've focused mostly on employment policy, but we've really expanded our work to a lot of the issues that also just make life in the community possible, including access to healthcare, education, all those kinds of things.
So, can you provide some more information on your virtual national leadership program?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the most exciting things about us going remote as an organization was that we were able to open up our national leadership program to anybody nationwide who is interested in learning more about disability advocacy and being part of this incredible movement. We host 2 cohorts of leaders per year, and each cohort is with us for about 5.5 months, and we bring on usually between 12 and 15 individuals who come and work alongside us in all of the departments. So we have and the folks who are participating in this program, we call them fellows. So our fellows are working alongside us in all of our different areas. So from behind the scenes nonprofit operations to the work that we do in communications and marketing, supporting all the work of our programmatic departments, to things like fundraising and a difference in the field of philanthropy. So it's a really incredible opportunity. It's part-time, it's 20 hours a week for folks who are interested in really learning more. And like I said, we have really, really open criteria for the program itself. We always do have, of course, a much higher demand than we have space, but we do encourage folks to apply multiple times if they're interested, because we love hosting emerging disabled leaders.
And then, what is the best way for individuals or families to contact you?
So I would say probably the easiest way is to reach out over email. We have an info@respectability.org email address. It's info@respectability.org, info@respectability.org. Our website offers a lot of great information, including more about the national leadership program I mentioned, which I think could be of interest to some of the folks who are listening in today. You can definitely learn more about that on our website. And then we are also on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, Threads. I think those are the 3 that we're on currently.
Nice. And then, what is the most rewarding part of what you would do?
I would say being part of a disability-led organization that is working for the larger community is really powerful. There's a lot of disability organizations out there, and a lot of them are doing incredible work. But I think there's just something that's so it can be so different to be in an organization where the majority of the team, the leadership team, our directors are disabled, and so we come to this work with lived experience that's deeply personal to us. So we bring that passion to everything we do. And I think the other thing that makes us different is that we not just come from our own perspective, we're constantly looking at the next generation of advocates and activists and thinking about how we can support and develop them to really carry on this work in the way that they would like to see it happen.
Awesome. Well, Ariel, thank you so much. Thanks again for listening to the Support Report podcast. Tune in next month for a new episode.